Okay, here we go with your review for your midterm. It's going to cover the section on angles, which is basically verticals, complementaries, supplementaries, and then everything on proofs and parallel lines. So we're going to start off seeing if you can identify the types of relationships with these parallels. Notice that it's got the parallel marks on it already, and that makes it have special kinds of relationships. Y and X, angle Y and angle X, since their parallels are right here, let me get the highlighter here, parallel, parallel. Those two angles, Y and X, are on the exterior. They're on the outside of the parallels, and they're not on the same side of the transversal line right here. So you would say alternate exterior. Number one, alternate exterior. All right, then number two, S and W. Here's S, here's W. Those are in between these two parallels, so that's interior. Now, are they on alternate sides or are they on the same side? So same side, interior. Same side of that transversal line. R and T, here's R, here's T. Now be careful, your parallels are right here. One's on the inside, T's on the inside of the parallels, R is on the outside. So don't pick something that says interior when this one's exterior, and don't pick something that says exterior when this one's interior. So it's not interior, it's not exterior. So you pretty much only have one answer left, corresponding. That's when they're the same position, top left of their group. You don't even look at this one. We're not even using that line at that time in that problem, so you could just cover it up with your hand. All right, and then finally, T and S, that would be alternate interior. They're on alternate sides, but they're still on the inside of these two parallels. Alternate interior. So there's videos where I go over that more slowly and piece by piece. So if you're not sure, go back and watch the videos about parallels. All right. If angle Q is 110, find the rest of these angles. So basically, I showed you in class to do the vertical, of course, verticals, complementaries, supplementaries, and then we don't have any complementaries, no right angle boxes. We do have supplementary, 70, 180 minus 110 gives you 70. So now you've got this whole group. Everything in this group will jump down parallel to parallel and match. So R is on the top left, Q is on the top left. So 110, same position, same position, same position, same position. Same thing down here. This group, top left, 110, and W would be 70. So not too bad. Alright, then we go on to a little more complicated type like this. Same thing to start off, verticals, supplementary, okay, verticals, supplementary, okay, find those in that group. So now we have two groups, a group here and a group here. There's 4 angles on the right, there's 4 angles on the left, but up top, where we wanted to jump, and I didn't have my parallels on here, they should have been marked parallel, 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 but there's 6 up here, but there's 4 over here and 4 here. So what's going to happen is they're going to overlap at some features, so you got to be careful what you make move. Let's focus on the parallels here for a second. If I'm looking at here and here, parallels, it has to jump from one parallel to the other. So it definitely does not go sideways. That's not going from one parallel to the other. I want to go from green to green right there. So I need to make it jump up. It's going to jump up. And what we said in class, and we use this with the activity, is do the smaller angles. The 75, where's that 75 going to jump? When it jumps up to that parallel in the same position, 75 is going to go here, and the vertical 75 is going to go there. Okay, and that's all you need to move out of that group. Okay, once you move one small angle, you're done. Now come over to this group, and let's move the other small angle, the 60s. Look at that 60 right there. That's on the top left. It's going to go top left right there, 60, and the vertical 60. So the last thing to find is that one in the middle, and these three are sitting on top of a straight line. 180 minus 60 minus 75, and we'll end up with 35, 45. Yep, 45. And you could do the vertical 45. Okay? 45, 45. All right, then we start on our proofs. I'm going to give you 4 one-step proofs. So these ought to not be too bad. Look at the problem first, and then go choose one of these answers. These could be used more than once or not at all. It just depends. Well, one thing that ought to stand out to you, if you see a vocabulary word, well, bang, there's your answer right there. P bisects NT. Okay, well, guess what? You had to think about what bisects means. Definition of bisector means it's cut into 2 equal pieces. All right, but it's the reason you know this, that you cut those pieces up. NO and OT. Where did that come from? Comes from the word bisector. Okay, when something bisects it, it's cutting it into 2 equal pieces. That's the 2 equal pieces. Why did we know they were equal? Because it said bisect. Okay. All right, now this doesn't have a vocabulary, but let's look a little closer and see what it's doing. 60 plus 20 equals XYZ. XYZ. That's the whole thing, right? So we're saying a little angle plus a little angle equals a big angle. That sounds familiar. Angle addition. It should say postulate, but it says property. So it should say postulate. All right, angle addition postulate. All right. Next, number 18, I hope you know your symbols from earlier on. What does that mean? That little upside down T, S and T. What does that mean? Perpendicular. If it's perpendicular, guess what? You got to know what perpendicular means, right? You got to know the definition of perpendicular, and it means 90 degrees. Okay? Not right angle. If they say perpendicular, if the symbol is perpendicular, then that's what you're going with, definition of perpendicular. All right, and finally here, number 19, A is parallel to B, so these are parallel. Why would 3 and 1, or 2 and 1 be matching here? If I've got parallel lines, those are parallel, then why is 1 going to be equal to 2? What position is that? We just went over those earlier. So that's corresponding angles are congruent when they're parallel. All right, that whole thing. All right, then I've got one I threw in there, and I hope you watched the video. If not, go back and watch it about converse. How do you write the converse? You switch the hypothesis, which comes after the if. It's the hypothesis. You switch it with the conclusion that comes after the word then. You don't switch the if and the then, you switch everything else. So hypothesis, that's an H. So it would read, if she, and you can change up the tense to make it sound right. If she takes away my phone, comma, then I talked back. Okay, get the idea. So you're just switching up those two parts. That's how you do a converse of a statement. So if you have not watched that, watch that. All right, so the next part, and this is going to be about 5 questions, is a proof off the notes. Now, we had notes, and I don't just mean your notebook. I mean out of the worksheets and everything we did, I'm taking one right off the page. And so it should be one that you have done either in class or on a video watching me with the notebook. So make sure you go back and look over them and just see how they flow and what you're supposed to do. It will be multiple choice. You know, you can choose the right answer and you're just filling in the reasons. I'll have all the statements listed out and you just got to pick out the right reason for each one. Okay, statements, reasons. What's the first one? Always given. Okay, that would be a freebie. The rest of them, you got to come up with real reasons. Good luck.